We have some more VelociCoaster details to share. If you suffer from motion sickness at the parks, then there may be a solution coming soon. And Hill House, Bride of Frankenstein, and a massacre in Texas. This is episode 464 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. It's me, Tracy, as usual. Yeah, we've got a pretty decent show tonight. Tomorrow? When was it this? I've lost track of time.
Jesus
anyway, with me,
Christ.
we can edit that. Anyway, with me I've got Lee, as you heard.
Hello everyone, and I get blamed for waffling.
I didn't mean to say tomorrow, I meant to say morning, afternoon, but you know.
Good evening.
Yeah, good night. I've also got Michelle.
Hello everybody.
And of course we've got Chris as well.
Keep on waffling.
Every day I'm waffling. Wow.
Yeah. Right, shall we get on with it?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
Right, so we have no Seth this week. He's been visiting the mouse on the West Coast. So here are a few little things that we've noticed. Michelle?
Yes, so on Saturday, the Jurassic World VelociCoaster hit a huge milestone. Universal posted that it had hit 1 million riders already.
Whoa.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming that's even, like, since sort of pass holder and team member previews as well.
You'd think so, yeah.
But that's still a
I
hell of a
wonder
lot
if
of
it counts
people.
like the tests runs.
I would say if there was
Before,
a human
you know?
being on it,
I would
it would
say,
count.
I don't know. I would say anything team member and above. I would say like engineers and people like that testing it. I would say no, probably not.
Does say riders. They were all riders.
Yeah.
True.
That's what
But
I'm
who
saying.
knows? I mean, that's still a lot considering they just
really
opened.
is.
Well, I mean, it's also like a pretty nice feat because you compare it to what Hagrid's did, and they were down every day almost.
Yes.
Or it felt
Yeah.
like it was down every day, and I feel like VelociCoaster is never down.
I think it was down yesterday. I think I saw posts in one of the pass holder groups that it was down. It was either yesterday or Saturday, but that's the first time I've seen it since it officially
like
Was
Not
that
opened.
because
weather-related?
of weather?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There were bad storms yesterday.
It was
Ah,
first thing in the
okay.
morning, so I don't think it was.
Oh, still pretty awesome.
It's
really cool.
phenomenal. Yeah, that just shows that it's not, everyone complained how Hagrid opened, and VelociCoaster has done the exact, it couldn't have opened any better.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and they had COVID to thank for that
Yeah.
partly because they had so
That's
much
very
time just
true.
to take their time and
Yeah.
do it right.
And you've also not got international visitors in at the moment
True.
as well, so that'll make it slightly easier for them.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
very true. Upsetting, but true.
It's incredibly upsetting at the moment.
And, following on from that, to alleviate Michelle's worries, because I'm sure you all...
This makes me very happy.
Yeah, we actually found out that the ride has 4 stopping locations. There is the launch scene 1, the boost before the top hat, and there are 2 stops before the platform. So the team members aim to hit a dispatch rate of 35 to 40 seconds per dispatch.
Which, that is not a surprise that they've managed to get 1 million riders then.
So they're working at raptor speeds then.
Ha
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
That's impressive. If they keep up that rate as well. Well
Yeah.
done, team members. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a well-oiled machine.
I can't tell you how much this news and other conversations we've had have made me so much more excited about riding this ride. And I'm not as nervous anymore.
Good.
Especially that video you sent me that showed the rollback.
Okay.
Like that wasn't bad at all.
Right.
I haven't seen that.
Right. I need to say something at this point.
He's got that look on his face.
So, doing my due diligence at this point, that is not a rollback.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What we have been talking about on the podcast for the last month, it feels like at this point, is not a rollback. A rollback is when the train gets up the lift hill or up the top hat and can't get over the top and rolls back. Chris, what you experienced before you rode it was an aborted launch when they know it's not going to have enough speed to
Juice.
get up over.
Huh. So
So then they stop it at the bottom, they pull it backwards, and they slingshot it up. That is an aborted launch.
I want to do one of those as well.
Now, Michelle,
Aborted launch.
you have disappointed me quite a lot when you
Oh.
replied to that video
I mean,
and said,
say what you mean.
that doesn't
God.
that doesn't look that bad. Because I will tell you that rollbacks, from what I can gather on VelociCoaster, have happened once or twice total. From what I can gather, those aborted launches happen at least twice a day.
All right.
But that's okay. What I saw does not worry me at all. The biggest thought that worries me is rolling back into another car that is coming. And since I know that they have all these stop points, that alleviates that fear.
And you know that it's going to be controlled as well if it does do that. So it's all good. Extra bit of ride. That's it. Woohoo!
So there you go.
And sorry, if I'm rolling back, I'm rolling back. I don't care if it's from the top or if it's from the middle or towards the bottom. I'm rolling back. So tomatoes.
See, I'd love a rollback on it. It'd be awesome.
I just want to ride any direction. I don't care.
I mean, that's true as well.
Chris, did you have anything to add?
To rollbacks?
No,
Or
I think
in general?
Just in general to this whole conversation.
That's kind of hot today. Oh, the conversation. Oh. So we've also been told about some other details in the ride that we haven't seen. So in the extended queue, there's a map of the area and theme.
Which, if you follow Nicole, just Universal Things on Facebook, she posted a picture of it yesterday. It's awesome.
I need to look at it.
Yeah.
In the lunchroom area, there is a tray with a speedometer and a glass with ripples. Almost messed that up, which is the same glass in the T-Rex scene in the original Jurassic Park movie.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
There are 6 raptor sequences on the AI screen in the launch room.
Awesome.
Delta and Echo are the 2 raptors in the stable room. Delta on the express side and Echo on the standby side. In the paddock, you see the raptors in alphabetical order. And there are nods to other attractions that have been on the land before VelociCoaster in the paddock.
So in other words, there should be something to denote the raptor encounter and something from the Triceratops encounter then. But how fast you're moving through that, are you going to see them?
Maybe on like ride 5, because it's hard. The first few rides were just...
Okay.
You're still absorbing the whole ride in, so it's just like you're not noticing anything. I saw maybe the statue of the raptors. That was it.
Yeah.
Everything else was like just awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. It is just like you say, for how everyone like came off Hagrid saying it is the best ride at the parks, even though it was down all the time. This just it seems to have hit. I haven't seen a single bad review of anything to do with it, and I mean anything to do with it. How it's running, how efficient it is, what the wait times are like, the ride itself, everything is stellar.
Positive, isn't it?
Even the locker rooms, which I didn't understand them before doing it, but even the locker rooms are just pretty straightforward. Like it works.
Although if last week's show, Gillian was telling me that, I don't know whether you experienced it, Chris, that they've got barkers in there because the general public don't understand them. So she was like saying they have people there going, You will not collect your stuff from the lockers in this room. It is not this room. It will not look like this room. They are on the other side.
Yes. There was plenty of that going on.
Wow.
There were also a couple little people trying to skip back into the ride line from the other side of the locker room. But there is somebody standing guard there at all times to politely yet firmly tell them to go back into the other room.
Well, that's what you want.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And staying in Jurassic Park, all of the food items at the watering hole have been removed and they're now serving drinks only.
I don't know what food they served in there, but apparently it's all gone.
Well, I'll take the drinks.
I thought you might say that.
Yeah. I could use some nachos, but drinks are okay too.
Apparently that was what was there, yes. Apparently the nachos were really good from there. I did know that.
Really?
The reason for
I
that
never
is-
ate there. Like, it's such a hole-in-the-wall hidden place for me.
I think a lot, like, to be fair, Jurassic Park as a whole's kind of like that for us.
I wouldn't call it a hole.
Haha. Not now. Oh, Michelle.
I'm sassy tonight. Hey. It's the heat. It's completely addled my brain. There's obviously a reason, unless it wasn't as popular, or that maybe it's going to go down for a refurb or something. I don't know.
Maybe people just didn't. It's called the watering hole, so you would assume it's just drinks. So I guess
that's probably why we've never.
I've never really seen a lot of people there anyway.
No,
ever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of I think the only times I stopped there was just to like sit down on a table for like a minute. And, see you later. Bye.
Yeah.
I can't actually think where it is.
It's in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Surprise.
Whoa.
It's the one right there to the left as you're first coming into the land, isn't it?
From which end?
From Hogsmeade.
I didn't. On the right. I think it's on the right.
Pizza Predatoria is on the right.
I have no idea. We're terrible. I think we just need to move on and edit all of this out because we're terrible.
Yeah. We're bad podcast.
We're terrible.
Oh my God.
We're supposed to know what we're talking about.
I gotta look at the map now. I'm pulling up the app.
Okay.
If you saw on our social media the Jurassic Park poster images that Universal shared, well, they have been available in the Tribute store. They were selling quick and were sold out most days. But if you are lucky, you may still get some.
Yes.
And they were pretty awesome.
Yes,
they were.
Are.
The ones that look like lithograph prints.
Yes, it was
stunning.
They were drawn by Ray Kime, the guy who does a lot of the stuff for Halloween Horror Nights. Unfortunately, he was another one that got let go during the pandemic. And I know he went over there to try and get them. And like I said, they were selling out incredibly quickly.
That is one of my all-time favourite art forms. That style is just...
Apparently, the River Adventure and the VelociCoaster ones are the two that you will struggle to get your hands on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Michelle, do you have an update?
Okay, sorry. The watering hole. It is, it's right there after Hogsmeade on the left. Like I said.
Okay.
See, I was right.
Fair enough.
You're so smart.
Well,
so it's like right as you come out of Hogsmeade on the left, and then is where like everything opens up to go, where you can go down to the new coaster entrance.
Okay. I don't know why, but I had an image of it in my head of being on the right-hand side, but there you go. Okay.
I still don't know Sam's
so we only have 3 bad hosts. Right?
Yeah, okay. All right.
Just teasing.
I know.
So about those posters, I had a question. Are any of those foreshadowing what is to come for Jurassic Park area?
When Tracy was off, we talked about this kind of with the backstory to VelociCoaster, and then yes, it says coming soon.
It does.
Yes. I think it's the Jurassic. Is it? I can't remember which one it is. Is it the T-Rex or the?
There was a T-Rex dining thing.
It's the Indominus Rex one coming soon, isn't it? Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. But there was like a T-Rex dining location.
Okay.
There was, everything was Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park.
Yes.
The Indominus Rex. And then it still showed the Jurassic Park River Adventure, but it also showed the gyrospheres.
Yes, it did. Yes.
I mean, wouldn't that be amazing if we had a ride after those gyrospheres? Oh my God.
That's something we've all been hoping for.
To be fair, there was rumours going around 3 or 4 years ago that they were actually working on them for an attraction. Again, rumours, who knows whether it was true or not, but that's what was doing the rounds.
Wait.
So cool.
Wait. What if in Epic Universe they are doing something, and that's how you get between the two parts?
On a gyrosphere, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but like...
Oh my God.
But they make the...
Like a monorail.
The other thing.
The Pteranodon flyers.
With the gondolas.
Oh, the Skyway.
Yeah, they make that look like... gyrosphere.
That would be pretty cool.
In the air.
So it's like a hamster ball going down iDrive.
Yeah.
I'm about that.
Like zorbing down iDrive.
So awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw those posters. This is foreshadowing something.
I think so. Like you say, when we did, I don't think Tracy was here, when we went sort of through the complete guide to the ride, if you look at the backstory, it basically says that River Adventure overlay is coming. They have to. They've set it all up. Just do it. I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't, because it's gone down really well in Hollywood, and it does look pretty cool. That mosasaur tank at the beginning's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
They haven't invested a lot of money lately in refurbishing what's existing there.
No,
that's true.
Well, to be fair, that's both parks, to be honest. And that's Islands Adventure as a whole, honestly, I think.
Well, maybe they're waiting for, wintertime to do this, hopefully.
Yeah. They usually goes, the water rides usually go down for a refurb around sort of back end of the January, February when they know people aren't going to be riding them. So hopefully. And
don't forget that before this pandemic, they just laid out a lot of money for that new land and all that groundwork prep. And then the pandemic's hit and they've lost a lot of revenue. So maybe they're not progressing as fast as they want to. They're having to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
We
shall see.
Who knows?
Of course we will. I don't mind them take the time because I'm not there.
No. Yeah.
So, if I can't have it, neither can you.
Oh, Lord. So talking about construction, also the Fear Factor live stage has some walls up and nothing going on in there that we know of. However, we know it's about Halloween Horror Nights. We don't know what, but it has something to do with Halloween Horror Nights. Still no official word what it is. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
I think if you look at that spec map, Chris, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Of what's going to be in there?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
Disappointed that it's not going to be Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so either. The Carnival of Carnage type show is probably what's going in
Which
there.
will be brilliant if 25 is anything to go like it.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It's the next best thing.
Yes.
Aside from also not having a dance crew out there that we all know and love, but a whole different combo.
I missed Carnival of Carnage in 25, so I am excited about it if that is in fact what goes in there.
It was
like you missed it as in you loved it, or you just
I missed it. I didn't see it. I was there year. That was my first year there, but we were only there for one night with express passes, and we just never caught it in time. So
so good.
It was.
I mean, I used to love all those like just theater stage shows that they would do because there were more that they used to have before. I forgot what.
Michelle,
I've seen
shows at Halloween Horror Nights. There used to be more.
Oh God, yes. The first years of the event were like nothing but shows.
There's a couple of episodes of Rush of Fear coming out shortly that, yes, you'll find out how many shows there used to be at Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of the friggin' things.
Just a couple, was there?
That's all it was.
You have to listen to that and listen to our guest reminisce about those days. It sounds amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my houses. I love that we have so many houses now, but the creative licensing that they had back then, it just sounds like phenomenal.
Oh, it was mental is what it was.
Yeah.
It was back before they had anybody slapping them on the wrist, telling them they couldn't do things,
exactly.
So very cool.
Moving on, for those of you who don't know at this point, the Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure has a new virtual line system. And this has been out for a couple of weeks and we were all trying to figure out what was new about it. And what it is now is you don't do it through the app. So whereas your other virtual lines, you can do it through the app, this is different. So you need to be in the park to book your virtual line for Hagrid's. There will be boards around saying, book your virtual line pass here and a QR code. You scan that QR code and it will take you to the website. And then from that point on, it's the same as it was booking your virtual line in the app. You just do it separately through the website. I have no idea why they felt the need to change this. Because apparently it's still not working great either.
It doesn't make any sense.
The only thing I can think of here is they changed this so that it's kind of like you have to go in front of the ride in order to book your thing with that QR code.
That makes sense.
Because they're probably, I don't know if it's a board, like a screen, or is it a screen or like a physical board?
From what I've seen who were we watching, Tracy, that did it? Was it Jackie, super enthused? Was it hers?
Yes.
It was an actual, like one of those like stand-up wooden boards with a QR code.
Oh, interesting.
On it.
Because if it was a screen, right? They could change the QR code every day and have like a unique code in there. And then it's like as if you were going to the line to go stand in there, except you're queuing up through the virtual line. I don't know. It's weird.
It doesn't make well on that day that it came out, somebody sent the link
it was
to
David
somehow.
Fuller in the Producers Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, me from home, I could click on the link and go through the process, except for at some point I had to be in the park and it wouldn't let me go continue on. But I don't think it's like a different QR code every day to ensure that you're in the park.
Yeah, then that's weird. I mean, it makes no sense. The app was perfect. Like it works just as it should. So I don't know why they're doing this whole kind of different setup. Especially, who was it from the Producers Club that had issues with it?
I think a lot of people have had issues with it, to be fair. I think I've seen a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
That's the case for the one in the app, too. Like on those days that they wouldn't do a standby line and only do the virtual queue, it sucked.
Yeah.
Because, like with me and Audrey that time, she had never ridden it before. And if we hadn't gotten lucky with, the team member letting us through, she just missed it. Which we were perfectly happy to wait in line for 4 hours if they would have let us, but
yeah.
So is it straight virtual right now?
I don't know.
I think it changes per day depending on what we were told. The team member said they decide, whoever's the team lead that morning decides how they're going to run the ride.
Okay.
That's what they told us when we were there, whatever, in February.
So going off this and talking about, we had a conversation about Rise of the Resistance the other week, didn't we, Michelle? Saying how people are struggling to get on it. I think it was John Self got in touch with us and said basically the reason that you have to have boarding passes for Rise of the Resistance is because the capacity for that ride is shockingly bad. And if they had a standby line on it, if they only had a standby line on it, there will be people that would end up in a 5 or 6 hour wait and still not ride it because it will not take the capacity that it needs for everyone who wants to ride it.
Similar to Hagrid's. I mean, when it's busy, the line just goes straight out of,
Compton
into Lost Continent. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like a pain in the ass because then they have the gate there, like a rail, and there's like people guiding, and it kind of kills the effects and like the then you have to cross over to get to the train station, which is also a pain where they're stopping people.
Yep.
Like, yeah, if they just let you wait in queue there, their queue will not support the amount of people that want to ride it.
Probably. I don't know.
Which is so interesting because here's the VelociCoaster, which is like brand new and super popular and they have had no capacity issues whatsoever.
But also,
what's
the difference? Hagrid's, more people. I can't remember who I was talking to this with. I feel like we talked about it on 2 shows ago, or it might have been last week's show with the guys from the Producers Club. But I think the difference is more people will ride Hagrid's than will ride VelociCoaster, because a lot of people will look at the VelociCoaster and go, I am not riding that because it scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I thought we had a conversation. So
I would literally talk to people in the park when I was there, and the consensus was like, oh, Hagrid's I'll ride, but this Jurassic Park thing looks just way too intense.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's the difference.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So be afraid, everybody. Don't ride it.
So bit of COVID news, I guess.
Is that still going on?
Yeah. So the Orange County Mayor, as of 12th of July, is recommended all vaccinated and unvaccinated people wear masks indoor, as the area has gone back to high risk. Universal haven't changed their policy as of yet, but I think that's very good advice. It appears that most of the world is going back into high risk because we are probably going back into another lockdown.
As of recording, today's Happy Freedom Day.
Oh, enjoy it, because tomorrow you're not.
No. All our rules have been relaxed as of today. Tomorrow, who knows?
Yeah, we're already seeing.
I think
people
it's
being
about
silly with it.
Within the next few weeks, if things go the way they go, and they're expecting us to get back up to 200,000 daily cases.
Yeah.
It's already. So I saw a report this morning where in Florida, it is spiking up dramatically.
Yeah.
Now the only good side, I guess, is that the vaccine is very effective. So they're saying like only 97% of the cases they're seeing in the hospitals are unvaccinated people. So that's good to hear that in the sense of the vaccine is working. It's the Delta variant that's really spreading us out.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, I'll tell you, unless Florida is mandated to shut down by a higher power, they will not.
Okay.
No.
I know Florida.
I just hope that I hope Universal see sense a little bit to protect themselves and everybody else. But I think if you are going to the parks, it's possibly not a bad idea if you at least take one with you and see what things are like.
It's better to have it and not need it, as we always say.
Yes, very much.
So look after yourself, people, because we do like you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Some of you.
Yeah.
I don't know who Michelle's referring to at this point.
I do.
Shh.
I didn't say anything.
Kieran.
Okay, good.
You leave Kieran alone.
I don't even know Kieran. I don't even know him.
See, Chris knows him.
He's a podcast
knobhead. I know him as Knobhead, but I've never met him. Sorry, Kieran.
He'd be buzzing now because, oh my God, they all talked about me.
Oh, bless him. I do like him.
Oh, yeah. And finally, Universal have once again announced that annual pass holder days will return to the resort from August 16th to September 30th. We will give you more info as we get it.
Good.
It doesn't bother me again. I'm not there.
No, I know.
Suck it.
But
cheers, Chris.
Wow, feisty bunch tonight.
Tell us how you really feel. God.
Pass holder days. Love them. They're awesome.
They are pretty cool. But it's good. Genuinely, the stuff they do for pass holders is pretty decent, especially when you look at, and I'm going to throw them under the bus, but how many pass holders you've heard complain that Disney have taken all their major perks away and Universal are still, doing just daft little things that they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's appreciated.
Well, you can't even get an annual pass for Disney right now.
Really?
Wow.
Really? They took those away a long time ago and haven't reinstated.
Interesting.
So unless you already had one and renewed it, you couldn't buy a new one.
Wow, I did not know that.
That is very interesting.
Yep.
I wonder how that's going to play out.
Okie dokie. There's a lot of Florida locals. I suppose probably most of the Florida locals will probably already have them on. This, so like Michelle said, they'll be renewing them. So.
Yeah, but a lot of people chose not to renew them because of how they're treating the pass holders that are current, as far as giving them priority access to the parks with the park reservation systems and things like that.
So you can renew, but you can't buy a new one?
Correct.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I
know that it'll change. It'll change at some point, but for now you can't.
Yeah. Some of my good friends have passes for years and they canceled it strictly because they just didn't go for like a year and a half. So talk to them about that.
Yep.
That's going to be interesting.
Well, surely you can't renew anyway if it's expired. Like if it's expired by like a year, you wouldn't be able to renew anyway, would you? Surely you'd have to buy a new one.
No, you have to renew it. They send you out like a pass, like a renewal reminder, and you have to renew it by that date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. It's Disney. This is not a Disney podcast.
Well, I mean, it's just showing the difference, how different the companies treat their pass holders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Universal loves taking care of their pass holders.
They do, and it's great.
They sure do. I like it.
Even though I'm not there, I still love... technically, I'm not a pass holder at the moment, but technically I am.
We've got paused pass.
It's on pause, so technically I am, and I still love the fact that I've got one. Even though I'm not there, it's still pretty cool to say, yes, I'm a pass holder.
Yeah.
We'll get to resume using them at some point.
I mean, they were the best value we ever bought right? Because if things go to plan, obviously with COVID and stuff, if everything goes ahead as planned now, that annual pass will have covered us for the Weekender trip in 2019, our Mardi Gras trip in 2020, our Halloween Horror Nights trip in September next year, and our Holiday Weekender trip in November next year.
That's crazy.
I would say that's a really good value. Book your
so.
Tickets with Mouse and Muggle Travel Company, people.
Yeah.
She'll get you 3 years worth of trips.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
That is crazy. Chris.
Yes.
Do you want to talk to us about motion sickness?
I'm very interested in this because I suffer from motion sickness.
Yeah. A huge complaint from many guests visiting Universal Orlando over recent years is motion sickness due to all the screen-based attractions at the park. Well, it seems Universal are on top of it, and the Orlando Business Journal are reporting that Universal is working on a new technology that reduces motion sickness.
Cool.
Interesting. Comcast Corp, partial owner of the Universal Parks and Resorts, filed a patent name Ride Vehicle Restraint System with Forced Air System. Showcases a ride restraint that pushes air towards the face of the rider from various directions, an effect that could reduce motion sickness. Now, based on a 2017 study from the NCBI, the airflow on the face of the riders was the most successful at offsetting the symptoms of motion sickness. 82 participants were divided into 4 groups to test different methods to reduce motion sickness. The study concluded that the airflow method proved to, quote, significantly reduce, end quote, the symptoms. Universal Orlando has declined to comment on the patent.
Of course they did. They won't comment on anything.
Thing is, that does actually make sense, because if you get car sick and you crack a window and get a breeze blowing around the car, you do feel better.
Are they really going to spend however much it's going to cost to put, like, say they decide to retrofit this into Forbidden Journey, which is probably the one attraction that most people will complain they get motion sickness on at this point. How much it's going to cost to retrofit every one of those benches with this new airflow system?
It's probably better than having to clean up the puke that's pulled off the bench and gone all the way down the Kuka arm.
Yeah, and spread all over the ride.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You know, another bad one is The Simpsons. That's the one that gets me the most. And I always, every single time I say, if I just had some air blowing on me during that ride, I could tolerate it just fine. But it's so hot in there that it just, it gets me every time.
See, I have a solution for that.
Get Chris a blow on you while you're on it.
No, just don't ride it.
It's Chris's favorite, so I have to ride it with, and I just close my eyes the whole time.
See, I find it so strange that that's one attraction that I hear a lot of people with motion sickness complain about, and yet it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah,
it gets me bad. Forbidden Journey doesn't get me at all.
See, Forbidden Journey, oh my God, I still blame. So we kind of blamed Hagrid for me coming off that first ride on Hagrid for being nauseous. I don't think it was. It was riding Forbidden Journey about 40 minutes before that started me off down that path.
Just getting old, aren't you?
And like it was Robin that actually gave me the tip when we went and did it for the weekend at the group ride the next morning. She sort of pulled me aside and she was like, just do what I do because it makes me sick. Just keep your eyes closed during the screen sections. And I did. And like, yeah, you miss bits. But if it's the difference between getting ill and not getting ill, and it worked, I was fine, but... It's a shame.
Which is what I do with Simpsons. I just close my eyes.
Yeah, but then you missed the entire ride at that point, whereas at least with Forbidden Journey, there's still some bits.
Exactly.
It's weird. I never get sick on any kind of those rides.
Look at you.
Yeah. Roller coasters will do it, but those,
I don't think I get motion sick.
It's funny to me that the study was only 82 participants. Like that doesn't seem like a very big cross section.
No. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you for motion sickness.
No.
I think I get it off my dad. My dad was motion sickness.
I'm made of tougher stuff, obviously.
It'll be interesting to see whether they bring it in, because they do seem to have gotten away from screen-based attractions at Universal. I think they've realised that they overdid it when they realised this worked and people like them, so let's double down on it, and now they're not.
Maybe they bought a job lot and now they've used them all.
I hope so. Like, I wonder if you'll see it implemented in Epic Universe in something like the Mario Kart ride, because I can imagine if you suffer from motion sickness, that could be a biggie. Well,
this is it. We're talking about retrofitting. None of this technology might come into the existing parks. This might all be for the future parks.
That is very true as well.
It's true.
Yes, that is a very good point.
Yeah. So...
Okay. It will be interesting to keep our eye on it.
But it's good to see that they aren't just going, well, tough.
Yeah.
They're looking at ways
There's Dramamine, take that. We're not spending money.
They're looking at ways to make people's
visits
in the park more pleasurable, and they can stay longer. If you're not sick, you'll stay longer, you'll spend more.
Yeah.
They are paying for their sins.
Well, that is very true as well. But they know, they watch the pass holder pages and stuff, so they know the amount of complaints of people who have motion sickness, so... And something like that, I suppose, coming up with something that's going to stop, that isn't something you do overnight.
No. But you also don't want the general population being like, yeah, I get motion sickness when I go to Universal because there's a lot of screen rides.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Good. They're addressing it and trying to do something. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Well, this is what we're hearing, at least, anyway. Yeah. They're not saying anything until they implement it, and then they might not even say anything.
Yeah, it'll be about 3 months afterwards.
Blowing in your face, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
They just retrofit like a team member to sit next to you and blow in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the times of COVID, maybe not.
Right. It is time for some Producers Club birthdays.
You lucky people.
A nice little gang here. It's quite a tight little space of days. My brain isn't working. It's too hard.
It really isn't, is it?
Shut up. Okay, we shall start on the 23rd of July. Yeah, not June, as my mouth wanted to say. 23rd of July. It is a lovely David Wilson's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
And following that, on the 27th of July, it is the lovely Chris Kerman's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And because Lee's changed the format on me, I didn't realise we actually have birthday triplets. Because now it says July 27th instead of 27th of July, because you're a Wally.
Michelle, you'll know one of these very well.
And we have...
I do.
So, birthday twins, but stroke triplets with Chris. We have Andrea Scullion and Matt Wyman. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
To us
Triplets.
people.
Matt the Lurker.
Matt the Lurker. I love Matt the Lurker. Yeah. And the following day, 28th, is the lovely Chuck Shaller's
There's
birthday.
another one you know, Michelle.
Woo!
I know.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Feliz cumpleaños.
And finally, bringing up the rear and sharing a birthday with Harry Potter himself.
After making his podcast debut last week.
Yes. It is a lovely Judson Whitfield's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy
birthday.
I like it when we can go, I've met them, and I've met them, and I've met them. That's cool.
Right, so the other ones that we haven't met, stop slacking, get it sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple. So yes, have great birthdays, guys, and, usual, hope you get lots of presents and cake. Awesome. Right, so if you would like your birthday read out in this awesome way that I do it, obviously, you can send us a little email and find out about joining us with the Producers Club, our little exclusive, not a cult.
It's we're 2 weeks away from the beginning of the sort of new year, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, there's, great conversations, lots of laughs, bit of merch, general silliness, and lots of love for Universal, really. So if that sounds like it's your thing, drop us an email at uuopproducers@gmail.com and Lee will give you all the dirt.
Quite a few new members this year, actually. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice to see.
The best part is the unedited episots that go out to only the producers. It's great.
Yeah. And sometimes to everybody when Lee forgets, puts the wrong thing out. You haven't done it for a while.
What are you on about?
You putting unedited shows out.
By accident.
Yeah.
I went through a phase of doing it quite a lot over the last year, so to be fair, so I'll just get a message going, you left a bleep, you missed a bleep there, and I'm like, oh, balls.
I don't even get mad anymore. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, no, it annoys me. I hate it.
If you don't like those little bleeps, just join the Producers Club and you will get some of those episodes that are I beg him all the time to leave the bleeps in, don't I? Or to leave the cuss words in, don't I, Lee? But he won't do it, guys. Sorry.
I can't do it.
One day you will.
Okay. Well, I do it, just not on purpose.
Right. Let's take an ad break and hear from the guys at Mouse and Muggle.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffler Trees in Zeus Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than ones and portions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse and Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts vacations. Mouse and Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mouseandmuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless. Some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've all booked a nice holiday with our lovely sponsors. We are going to head straight into a Rate My Crepe. And this one comes from Austin.
Hey UUOP, Austin Cleary here to rate my crepe.
So you did
my
it.
wife and I tried the cookies and cream crepe today. The filling was a little bit cooler temperature than the pastry, which was a nice contrast. I give the cookies and cream a 4.5 out of 5 because it was a little bit difficult to finish with how large it was. My wife said that she would indeed her crepe given the opportunity. 5 out of 5. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Oh, one of the best reviews we've gotten in yet.
Wow. Well,
nice.
Mrs. Austin, big thumbs up there. I like your style.
Nice. I like his wife's style, actually.
Do you know what the funniest thing about this whole thing is? The person that started everyone over enunciating the rate was because she was trying to send me a Rate My Crepe. And the funny thing is, I haven't actually had one from her yet.
Really?
No.
No, I have not.
Oh. Really, woman. Get your finger out.
So Alexa,
I'll get on it.
Wow.
we actually do not have any more clips at this point. No one else has sent them in, so
Uh-oh.
need to get to it, people.
I do feel that I need some detailed information on these things because it's probably going to be gone by the time we get out there.
Oh,
so
I
I'm
don't
going to
think
try and
it will be gone.
make them
No,
because I
I
am
don't think it's
desperate.
going anywhere.
No, I told you I did a poll on our Instagram story of what people preferred, Central Park crepes or Bend the Bow, and it was massively in favour of Central Park crepes.
Well, I would like to try them.
And I'm sure next month's pass holder pin is a crepe one as well. I can't remember what it's called now. Can't remember what it says, and I have seen it.
I've just had an idea. So when we finally get out there again, we need to do retro ones of all of these for ourselves.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon because the line most of the time is wrapped like back behind the building and back along the fence along Central Park.
Yeah. Mobile ordering would be
take
great
a while
for
to
that
make.
place.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay. So if you also want to join in with rating your crepings.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
Crepings.
Sometimes you just got to go with it. Just go and buy them and record us a message rating any and all of the crepes you have tried from Central Park Crepes. And score that out of 5, please. 1 being bleh, and 5 being hell yeah. And send them to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com.
So you say, it's like if you go 1 week and try one, leave a review for that one. Then if you go back 3 weeks later and try another one, leave a review. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a one-off. You can, every time you try a new one, rate it, send us in a message.
I do feel that we should have been asking for photographs and they should be put on the Facebook page.
It's too late now.
Well, next thing. So, right, a new episode of Rush of Fear will be here soon and will be about the recent announcements. But of course, we want to talk about them. So, Michelle, help us out.
Yes, ma'am. So we have had 3 house announcements in the past few weeks. The first being, for the first time ever, Netflix's critically acclaimed series, The Haunting of Hill House, will bring its ominous presence to Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood in all new mazes for HHN 2021, which is officially back beginning in September. Reincarnated as Halloween Horror Nights mazes, the imposing and mysterious Hill House eerily comes to life, beckoning guests to embark on the dark journey experienced by the Crane family. Iconic scenes from the Netflix series will be featured throughout the maze, including the omnipowerful Red Room, the heart of Hill House, and the infamous Hall of Statues, where deceptive powers overtake everyone who enters. Apparitions will appear around every corner, from William Hill, the tall man, whose towering stature overwhelms everyone he encounters, to the ghost in the basement, who feverishly crawls throughout the bowels of the house in search of his next victim, to the bent-necked lady, whose disturbing scream and ghastly appearance invoke a constant state of unnerving dread. awesome. I can't wait for this one.
I said right from before this was announced, I said that this would make a great house. I know you don't agree.
I'm going to let Chris go first.
I mean, I loved the show, so I'm open to seeing what they would do for a house. I mean, I'm not thrilled about it, but I'm not angry either. So
my reaction to this announcement was, I hope that means we get Bly Manor next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bly Manor is the one that I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about Hill House because I wasn't particularly bothered about the show. I do feel I need to go and watch it again because it was one of those things that everybody raved about, and I watched it and I went, huh.
Really?
Did I miss something? Like, I enjoyed Bly Manor way more.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Bly Manor.
I agree. Oh my God. You have to see Bly Manor.
Yeah.
And Bly Manor is going to be a fabulous house.
If you're saying it's that good, because I thought it was probably just like a weaker brother to...
No, it was actually superior.
Yeah, I love Bly Manor.
Okay.
Way better. And I don't want to get in too much about my opinion because I do talk a lot about this on Rush of Fear, but something that I think is going to be cool about this house that is better than the actual show is that this house apparently isn't going to be like a walkthrough of the show. It's not going to be like sequential where you feel like you're walking through the events. It's just like you experiencing Hill House.
That's
period.
exactly
So
what
the
I
show
wanted.
itself had a lot of like dragging moments where they were in the funeral home and things like that, and there was a lot of talking. So you're able to skip through all those boring moments of the show and just experience the horror part of the show.
Awesome.
See, I'd like to be in that. I know it wasn't the conservatory because it's too tall, like an arboretum type, the glass house. I would love to experience that because that was creepy as hell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they posted some pictures on the blog of it, and it does look stunning, but it's I wouldn't be that bothered. I'm not that bothered that I'm not going to see this. Sorry.
Oh, but listen, the ghost in the basement, I can already tell you right now that's going to make me crap my pants. Because, and I think, Tracy, that's the one moment in HHN 2019 that you started cracking up at me because right there at the end, I think it was, which house was it? I don't remember, but something jumped out from below that I wasn't expecting, and it got me, and I like took off running, screaming, and you came out of the house like crying because you were laughing so hard at me.
I was doubled up.
Yeah. So those things on the floor get me every time.
To be fair, Michelle, most people came out of those houses cracking up at you.
Okay. I'm okay with that. But I am dreading that ghost in the basement moment because, oh my God, that thing was creepy as hell.
I'm looking forward to the tall man. For some reason, that in the show, that actually creeped the hell out of me. Okay. And he's not even that scary. It's just really creepy.
And he's not walking on the floor. He floats.
Yes. But he has his
little
little cane
I wonder how
that
they're
makes that
going to do
noise
that.
too.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So they're going to build that up for sure.
I'm interested to see how they do that floating effect.
I wonder if they're going to have them on like a...
They could just have him on
rail
like
above,
string, right? Or
cables.
Yeah. Remote control. They can just...
No, it needs to be a person.
You could have somebody in a harness on a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't see those cables.
Yeah. Just with his toes pointed just off the floor.
See, I think there's elements of this house that are going to be cool.
I think it's got a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
But as I said, from the perspective of not going this year, I'm not like,
it's a good job you're not gutted about it.
Can't believe I'm missing it. I'm just like,
Yeah. All right. So we actually got 2 announcements on the same day last week, which was phenomenal. Returning from its stint in HHN Light in 2020 will be Universal Monsters: The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, which they have to say, Universal Monsters: The Bride of Frankenstein Lives picks up where the 1935 classic film, The Bride of Frankenstein, left off, thrusting guests into chaos as the bride becomes an unstoppable scientist and begins her mission to revive Frankenstein's monster. Her unwavering quest to find eternal life will come at a cost, and guests will soon find themselves entwined in a frenzied battle in their daring attempt to escape. Wow, guess not everybody jump at once about this one.
Well, everyone knows where Universal Monsters was on my top 10 list of Halloween Horror Nights 29. This is another one that unfortunately doesn't sit very high on ones that I would be particularly bothered about seeing, although the reviews of it from last year were pretty good, and a good friend of the show, I will not divulge his name right at this point, said it is the most beautiful maze he has ever seen. Okay. Is what I
must admit, it does have potential for that. And the why is my brain not working? Like the TV spot.
Yeah.
Seen, the teaser really sells it.
Oh, it is pretty awesome. Yeah.
You all know Bride isn't one of my favourite classic monsters. But I would still, I'd still go in and...
It was an okay house.
Open mind.
Good.
Oh, did you do it last year, Chris, yeah?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting then. Going this year then, Chris, will it be one that you'll still do? Or will you think, I kind of done that a couple of times, I'm not that bothered, I'll concentrate on the others?
That's exactly what the game plan is this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll want to do it because obviously...
Yeah, because you always want to do every house every time.
Of course. And they may have changed a couple elements here and there. I mean, it wasn't a bad house. Like, it's not a house I'd be like, I could care less to go back. Yeah. Like, I'd go do it again.
Okay, that's good.
But, yeah, I'm kind of with Tracy. It's not like my favorite character or anything like that. But
I think they're kind of going to... I think it might be a little bit different this year because... And same with Tooth Fairy, if it happens... because I don't think they're going to have all of the COVID treatments.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'd want to go back and see what they changed, if anything. Didn't you do this house too, Michelle, or no?
No, I didn't do any of the light stuff. I was too bitter. I didn't go. Give it all to me or give me none. Okay. So, no, I didn't go.
Yeah, okay. It wouldn't be high on my hype list.
Well... I'm excited about it, but I could just be excited about it all because I missed it last year. So who knows? And then later that same day, we also got the announcement of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, inspired by the 1974 iconic slasher film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Halloween Horror Nights mazes will depict a harrowing and intense experience as guests try to outrun the maniacal Leatherface and his unrelenting chainsaw. Guests will embark on a killer journey through a series of familiar scenes from the film and eventually fall victim to a family of cannibals. From a dilapidated gas station to an eerie old farmhouse, they will witness unimaginable horrors around every corner, soon discovering that nowhere is safe from the demented Leatherface.
Now, this is an interesting one, right? Because I know Michelle's never seen this film.
No.
Chris, I assume you have seen it.
Yeah, I saw this in middle school or something. So it was one of those movies that was really scary, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't seen it recently. I'll probably watch it again just for the house, but I'm looking forward to this one.
I want to see it again. Tracy and I saw it for the first time in the cinema when they re-released it about 20 years ago. Is it that long? Jesus.
Bloody hell.
It was before the kids. And I didn't think much of it, to be honest.
Did we actually have a life before the kids? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember an awful lot about it, to be honest. I remember being slightly disappointed because I grew up with this gritty, really bad sort of notorious horror film, so it's right up my alley. But I know, again, friend of the show, Andy DiGenova, we both agree that the remake's actually the better of the two films. But that being said, this is one house I am gutted I will not get to see.
Nice horror term there.
Because I just think, what screams Horror Nights more than a chainsaw?
No, that's Horror Nights.
And let's face it, the material here, they could do multiple houses from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And that creepy camera snap, that they always use now is so creepy as hell. Michelle, you're going to your pants through this.
We had a version of this, 5 years ago, right? 26?
It's been done a few times at Horror Nights, actually.
Because it's so good, that's why.
So I did experience it in 26, but again, I had my eyes closed most of the time. So I'm really looking forward to it this year because I think I'm going to be able to keep my eyes open and not be as chicken as I always have been.
I'm just trying to look now to see. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was at appearances at Orlando Horror Nights. It was, funnily enough, according to this, and Michelle, you and I both know how reliable this stuff can be. It was part of the first year. It was part of 98. It was unofficially
the first year?
That's what it says on Horror Nights.
No, it wasn't.
That's what it says here.
No, it wasn't.
It was part of Universal's Museum of Horror Unnatural History in 1998. It was unofficially a part of Nightmare Alley in 2001. It was part of All Night Die-In in 2003. There was Texas Chainsaw Massacre Flesh Wounds in 2007. Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2016. And then this one. So they've done it a lot.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And what's interesting about this in particularly is that there is a new film coming out this year, supposedly.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like this house is based on that new film. This is based on the classic.
Specifically, yeah.
So,
because we watched one not that long ago, didn't we? Was that? There's one came out 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like him as a kid. Do you remember watching it, Trish? It was crap. I can't
remember. That one that was just called Leatherface?
Yeah, I think it was. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Yeah, this is genuinely one I'll be like, I would have loved to have seen this. Not because I love the film as well. I just think it's just so iconically horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's going to be loud. It's going to be gory. It's going to be gross.
Oh, man.
It's going to be good.
Oh, the potential. The things I want to see.
I can hear the chainsaws in my head now. Just like, oh no. Like just rocking up to that house, coming into the facade and hearing those chainsaws.
And hearing it.
Oh, amazing.
Yep. For sure. So if you want to hear more ranting and raving about these announcements, be sure to keep an eye on the feed because Kenneth, Maddie, and I will be discussing this in more depth this week on Rush of Fear.
Cool.
It's not, is it though? Because we're not there. I don't really care. Sorry, Michelle, Maddie.
I'm saying more cool for the show.
It's like it's going to be so hard for me to listen to our own sister podcast because it's just going to make me cry.
Right.
Like, I know I need to give room for Chris to talk about it on here, and it's just going to be like, everyone's going to be, oh my God, those original houses are amazing. They're the best. Even Maddie, when I was talking to Maddie yesterday for a little secret project, she was like, I think this is going to be the best year ever. And I'm like, you're not doing me any favors right now, Maddie. She's like, I know, I'm sorry, but I just...
Well, that's kind of the downside of running a Universal podcast from England.
Yes, I know.
Because pretty much every announcement that comes out of the parks, you're going to be like, damn it.
Yeah. You'd think I'd come to terms with it by now, but I haven't.
I know.
A little bit bitter.
Not bitter, just sad.
And bitter.
And
bitterly sad.
Bitterly sad. Sadly bitter. Right. Well, before we wrap up the show, I was actually very honoured to be the inaugural guest on a new podcast, Limited Run, and good friend of ours, Travis Kirkland, invited me along, and this show's called Theme Park the Movie, and it's available on Spotify. And if you want to go along and listen to me prattle on about Jaws, both the movie and the ride.
Sounds like an interesting premise, doesn't it? Let's talk about the film and the ride that it spawned.
It was so much fun, and obviously because I know Travis. What are you? Because I know Travis really well. We had a really good time. We laughed a lot. There may be some in-jokes, I'm not sure, because we just got in our own little bubble. But it was a lot of fun, and go along and support him. And go and have a listen. So yeah, it's Theme Park the Movie, and it's out now on Spotify. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. There's some other good ones coming up as well.
There's not like people moonlighting off your own podcast, is there?
What, me?
Yeah.
Moonlighting off my own podcast?
Yeah, no, my own podcast.
Oh, try it being your own podcast when it's only you then.
Do you think I wouldn't carry this on if everybody left?
You said, do you think I wouldn't care, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I said exactly what I meant to say.
I'm holding up my sign. Mommy and Daddy are fighting again.
We're not fighting. We're just laying the law down.
So we know our value now, guys. Okay.
No, it's like Kenneth and Maddie. They need Michelle to temper them. I need other people around me. Otherwise, it would just be me prattling on. Because I would just prattle on.
Did you just say you need other people around you? Otherwise, it'd just be you. Because that's kind of how it works.
You know what I mean?
We are going to end the show. Thank you for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. So we're going to end this one with another listener-submitted Universal is, and this one comes from Kelly Ellison. Now, if you want to be involved with this, all you have to do is drop us an email at podcast@uuopodcast.com, or you can send it via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and tell us what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. And Kelly says, Universal is my war moments. Night.
Guess that wraps things up for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese. See you later.